go with advice section, advice for writers. Okay, we're getting towards the end. Advice for amateur writers. Okay, start with the first advice. Finding time to write. How, when? I love writing. It's all I want. Like, it's advice that we find online, to be honest, but it's also very relevant. People search this kind of stuff. I love writing. It's all I want to do. I'm at a point where I actually resent time doing anything else, work, chores, errands, etc. Absolutely cannot afford to quit my job, and all the courses are necessary, or I wouldn't be doing them in the first place. Maybe I'm just ranting, wishing I could go off the grid and do nothing but to write. But write. Of course, even if I could, there is no guarantee I'd get published, much lesser bestseller. I squeeze every little bit of writing time I can find, but I'm getting more and more irritated at what used to be ordinary daily things. Does anybody feel this way? How do you deal with it? How do you deal with lack of time to write? Or saying lack of time to write? I feel like it's the way it is in any other ones.
I don't think that that's something that I can answer in a blanket way, because everybody's situation is different, and the impediments that they face finding time to write are different. I think, first of all, I'm reminded of the great short story writer Raymond Carver, who much of his greatest work, and I wouldn't wish this on anybody, supposedly he would go and sit in his car at night in the winter and scribble in notebooks, because that's the only time and the only space that you can find. I don't know how true it is, but that's a very extreme example. And that's an example of somebody who was, first of all, a great talent. He's had an enormous influence on English literature. But also somebody who was writing because he had to write. Some people write because they have to write, like they have to eat. And they are always going to find time. But, you know, when you have a family, when you have a job, I think writing is, you know, we make our priorities. I don't exercise. Could I make time for more exercise? Sure. Could I make time for more writing? Absolutely. I watched a TV show last night with my kids. I was 45 minutes. I could have been writing, or I could have been exercising. We make decisions. We make choices. And I can't give advice how you can reorganize your priorities. And there are people who have totally exhausting lives and don't have time to watch TV and don't have time to exercise. And maybe they have 45 minutes that they can devote to either unwinding and watching TV or exercising or writing. And I'm not going to tell them to write. People in those situations need to make their own decisions. I'm not going to tell them to sacrifice sleep for writing. A lot of writers are like me and are insomniacs. I don't sleep a lot. It's not healthy, not emotionally healthy. It's not physically healthy. My kids know I'm on the couch often, not in my room, at 2, 3 at night. It's not great for them to see their parents like that, because I write and then I pass out. I fall asleep on the couch. I don't recommend that. So this isn't something that I can give advice on. I guess the only advice I could give is try and be more conscious of your decisions and your priorities, instead of just at the end of the week looking back and saying, oh, I feel terrible, I didn't get to write at all. At the beginning of the day, try and plan it into your day in some way. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay. It's a good one. It's a good advice, I'd say. It's a matter, I think, yeah, it's a matter of priorities and planning yourself through the day. Yeah, and it's not about getting off the grid. It's just, like you said, maybe I could go off the grid and do nothing but try. Some people do that. Sometimes it's not very healthy. I'd say find the time, make your priorities, become an organized person. Okay,